method is a more like discussion-based style of learning.
Essentially, we sit around the table, teacher sits somewhere in the table, doesn't matter where, not even at the head, just almost in like a same position as another student. And we take material that we've read or annotated in between classes, and we talk about that with our peers. So we kind of try and draw a larger conclusion from each of our own analyses of this material we're provided.
It allows students to learn from each other rather than just from a teacher, you know. How most of my classes work is we'll get an article assigned to us the night before, and then we'll read it, and then come to class all having the same base knowledge, and maybe one person took away this from the article while the other person took away that, and then we can combine our ideas to culminate in one big, you know, learning experience.
So in a way, it's kind of drawing together one big conclusion from all of these people's different perspectives, which I like a lot because of the scope of all of these different opinions and viewpoints, and it leads to a very diverse culmination.
I have been teaching at the Hague School for 2 years, and it's been the best teaching I've ever done in my career, primarily because of the Harkness Method. I never saw myself as somebody who would teach high school. Part of that was just because I really wanted to be able to approach the classroom setting in an intellectually rigorous manner, and I didn't realize that that was possible in high school. And the Hague School makes it possible. I have watched students walk into a classroom after reading a really difficult text, you know, something like sections of Walt Whitman's Song of Myself, or having read Herman Melville's Bartleby the Scrivener, and they will begin the period saying, I didn't understand that at all. And I've learned now that my best move is to just be quiet. And they sit down at the table and they pull out their texts, and 1 hour later, these students see that they understand that text. They've shown each other and they've shown themselves that they understand it, and they've shown me that they understand it, sometimes as well as I understand it, and even better. I mean, these students bring insights to these texts that I've read 25, 50 times that had never occurred to me. And that's the beauty of Harkness. It's like you hold up this text that is the prism, and everyone looks through it and everyone sees this refraction, something different. And then you lay it out and we all look together.
And it's been super enjoyable, you know. It's just like talking with your friends all day basically, which, you know, I love to do already, and it's been great.
Eventually, after a few years, you get to know each people's talking styles, and then that really helps you kind of ping off each other during discussion, and that really makes for a good discussion. And especially with Harkness, because rather than having a teacher just tell you all the information, you get to learn it yourself. In other schools, you have to line up in straight desks and they just tell you the information, you have to memorize it, then you're quizzed on it. With Harkness at this school, you get to figure out the information for yourself through prompts, and that really helps me understand it a lot more.
The Harkness style is also really cool because I don't really like lectures. I think they're boring and not very fun, and I fall asleep in a lot of them, especially English lectures.
It doesn't mean every discussion is perfect. That's one thing I also really love about the Harkness Method and about teaching at the Hague School, is there is a real support system for students that gives them room to make mistakes, to go down a dead end in their research and then back up and go down a different path. to say something in class that maybe doesn't quite make any sense, or that that they haven't fully thought through, but then others will pick it up and kind of push it to the next level. One thing I really see developing in students the longer they stay at the Hague School is this comfort with sharing an idea that isn't fully formed. And that's like a first stage of moving through the Harkness Method. They begin feeling safe to just get something on the table. And then once they've engaged in enough Harkness discussions, once they've received, rounds and rounds of feedback on their participation, what you start to see then is students become better at like holding back until the moment when they're able to put several pieces together and then lay those out on the table.
Some of the things that I like about Harkness learning is that we lead it by ourselves. You don't come into school getting a full lecture every day. It's mainly focused on the student's perspective and what we can do to make a difference. We have our own voice, and for everybody to come together as a team, that's what Harkness wants. Everyone is equal when you sit down at the table.